The crowd gathered in a hall illuminated by the soft glow of kerosene lamps. They listened intently to stories about a man who had changed the world, a man whose name evoked admiration and envy, and whose achievements left audiences breathless. John D Rockefeller, a figure shrouded in myths and legends, his wealth, influence, and approach to life became symbols of an era. Yet behind this polished image lie fascinating details that reveal him as a man of complex and contradictory character. Rockefeller's childhood offered no hint of the destiny of a great magnate. His father, William Avery Rockefeller, made a living through fraud. He pretended to be a deaf, mute merchant of miracle cures and herbs, earning the nickname Devil Bill. William led a double life, maintaining both a family and a mistress. He also posed as a specialist in treating eye and ear conditions under the name Dr. William Livingston. In 1855, he even secretly married a young woman from a wealthy family. Rockefeller's first earnings came from selling turkeys and renting land to neighbors for gardening. These early lessons taught him the value of money and its significance. He quickly realized the importance of hard work and perseverance, which became the foundation of his interest in business and financial management, ultimately laying the groundwork for his entrepreneurial career. On September 26, 1855, as a teenager, Rockefeller began working as an assistant bookkeeper at Hewitt and Tuttle in Cleveland. From that moment, he celebrated this day every year, considering it more important than his birthday. "My entire destiny depended on that moment," he said, recalling the start of his career. Rockefeller did not participate in the Civil War. Instead, he hired substitutes to serve in his place, a common practice of the time. He explained his decision by emphasizing the need to support his family and develop the business that would become the foundation of his oil empire. In 1863, following the discovery of oil in Pennsylvania, 24-year-old Rockefeller invested in an oil refinery in Cleveland. This move marked the beginning of his oil empire. In 1870, he founded the Standard Oil Company of Ohio, which, through efficient management, secret agreements with railroads, and the acquisition of competitors, soon controlled 89% of U.S. oil refining. This success allowed him to set standards for quality and pricing, dramatically transforming the U.S. oil market. Raised by a devout mother, Rockefeller donated 10% of his income to the church from an early age. After retiring from business, he donated about $500 million to various funds supporting education, science, and medicine. His foundation helped develop a fever vaccine and combat hookworm disease. He contributed over $500 million to charity. Spelman College is named after his wife's maiden name. In 1882, the Rockefellers began supporting a women's seminary for African Americans in Atlanta. The institution was later renamed in honor of Laura Spelman, Rockefeller's wife, and her parents, who were active abolitionists. In 1911, the US Supreme Court dismantled the Standard Oil monopoly into 34 companies. This unexpectedly enriched Rockefeller, who owned a significant number of shares. Stock prices rose, and his fortune amounted to 2% of the entire US economy, making him the first billionaire in history. This influence on the nation's economy further underscored his unique position in the business world. At the height of Standard Oil's success, Rockefeller became a symbol of corporate greed. Political cartoons of the era depicted him as an octopus seizing control of the US economy, and he became one of the earliest targets of public criticism against monopolies. In the 1930s, the Rockefeller family was offered a biography written by Winston Churchill, a prominent orator and writer. However, the requested advance of $250,000, an exceptionally high sum at the time, was deemed unacceptable, even for the wealthy family. As a result, they commissioned Allen Nevins, a Columbia University historian, to write the official biography. From the age of 40, Rockefeller suffered from alopecia, causing him to lose all hair on his head, face, and body. This condition posed a significant challenge, and to maintain his image, he began wearing wigs of varying lengths. Some were custom-made to create the impression of natural hair growth after a haircut. Despite these difficulties, Rockefeller remained confident and actively engaged in his affairs. Rockefeller lived to the age of 97, astonishing many with his vitality and disciplined lifestyle. At 96, his insurance company was required to pay him $5 million under his policy, a substantial sum that was rare even then. Despite his immense wealth, Rockefeller preferred a modest lifestyle. He wore simple yet high-quality clothing, avoided ostentatious luxury, and meticulously monitored family expenses. Even his home, though spacious, was functional rather than lavish. He considered frugality one of the main virtues, regardless of wealth. An avid gardener, Rockefeller spent his leisure time tending to flowers, trees, and vegetables. For him, gardening was more than a hobby. It was a form of therapy that allowed him to escape the hustle of the business world. He often said that working the soil helped him restore his mental balance and gain inspiration for new ideas. As a teenager, Rockefeller kept a journal of every expense, carefully recording even the smallest costs. This habit stayed with him throughout his life, enabling him to analyze his financial decisions thoroughly. Even in adulthood, he maintained detailed records, demonstrating exceptional discipline and showing how effective money management could be the foundation of success. Through his foundation, Rockefeller donated vast sums to aid war-affected countries in Europe. His money was used to provide food, rebuild healthcare systems, and support education. Rockefeller believed health was his most valuable asset. He ate small portions, ensured his food was of high quality, and adhered to a strict sleep schedule. This discipline is thought to have contributed to his longevity. The Rockefeller Foundation established numerous institutions and laboratories that remain leaders in scientific discovery. For example, his funding led to the development of a meningitis vaccine. Rockefeller had a remarkable memory, enabling him to recall details of numerous transactions, including complex numbers and legal aspects. This trait made him an indispensable negotiator, helping to secure favorable contracts and manage a vast corporation effectively. At the age of 16, Rockefeller opened his first bank account at Erie Street Bank in Cleveland, marking his initial step in financial management. He remained loyal to the bank throughout his life and often advised his loved ones to practice financial discipline, leading by example in long-term planning. Rockefeller strictly adhered to Baptist values instilled in him from childhood. He began each day with Bible reading and prayer, avoided alcohol, tobacco, and gambling. His deep faith not only shaped his personal principles but also inspired significant charitable projects aimed at improving the lives of millions. Rockefeller loved singing and often participated in church choirs. Music was an important part of his life, and he funded numerous music schools and organizations. Rockefeller also implemented a system of vertical integration, ensuring control over every stage of the oil business, from extraction to transportation and sales. This strategy became a model for many corporations. Many newspapers criticized Rockefeller for his aggressive business tactics. However, he later learned to use the press to his advantage by creating a positive image through stories of his philanthropy. Subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you even more fascinating stories. See you in the next episode.